morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here and for agreeing to give the keynote address. I'd love to kind of get your thoughts on two questions. The first one being, what do you see as the role of startups in a net zero transition? And specifically, how is GEAPP approaching supporting the ecosystem?
Thank you very much for inviting me. And I think startups have a very significant role in India's energy transitions. And not just India, and this will eventually be the world's energy transition. And the reason why I say this is that many new technologies are yet to be created, which will help transition in a manner that is just and equitable for all.
Yes.
And therefore, the need for innovation in this space is enormous. And we at GEAPP recognize the fact that yes, there is a need for new innovations in the climate space, whether it is clean energy or it is the way digital things will work to unveil in the climate space. So we are supportive of the startup. We are going to, in the evening, thanks to your platform, we will be unveiling our challenges, the innovation challenge that we are going to initiate from today. And this will run up till about 4 or 5 months.
Yes.
And we are looking for innovative solutions for climate, which will not just help India, but also help the world.
So, second question I wanted to touch upon is climate is a common challenge for all of us. It's not an India problem. It's not a South Asia. It's not an Asia. It's not a regional problem. It's a global problem. What is the role for partnerships, and how can we encourage deeper partnerships between various stakeholders in the ecosystem?
So I think it's a very important question that you raised. And if you look at energy transition as a subject today, just from the government's perspective, there are 18 ministries that have to work together in synergy in order to have a transition which is meaningful and just. And this applies to all stakeholders, whether it is the public sector, private sector. Therefore, what is needed is a collaborative effort. Someone who can coordinate, collaborate, enable this transition, help different actors to play their part very well, so that we move in synergy, we move together and have the kind of impact that we do. And therefore, forums like this really are necessary, I think, to build this holistic partnership, not just for one-off event, but also as a sustainable direction forward.
Thank you, sir. I think you brought up an important point, which is the ecosystem building and ecosystem orchestration, which we're highly aligned on. Just as a last question, in terms of if you had a wish list and you had one intervention in whatever way, whether it's a policy intervention, whether it's a program that would spur greater startup formation and more importantly scaling of clean tech and energy tech startups, what would that wish list be?
So I think I will draw the analogy to some other where deep tech has really helped, whether it is the education sector, health sector, or very recently the payment sector. Why this has worked wonders and innovations you see almost that you have a digital public
DPI
infrastructure, DPI. Now we need to build this DPI in the grid, which is just not there. And I think for me, it is a combination of implementation, policy, regulations that need to again come together to push this ecosystem. And I think the kind of innovation that you will see is just mind-boggling.
Very nice. I am a deep believer that this is really India's true innovation, DPI and DPGs. So very heartened to hear that. I'd like to thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.